All right, so we got Cal here, second place at the Grail. Sick run. All right, so I think the biggest question that most people have, and I saw some kind of answers in chat, but like, how active have you been? I feel like most people like haven't seen you for a while. I saw someone in the chat say I think that you've been going to some like AL still in Cincy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go to every single one of my Thursday weeklies when there's not a holiday happening.
Dang. Okay.
So I still play the game every week.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I'll go to UC on a Saturday because they also have a weekly that's like similarly sized, but
And what size is that?
it's like 15 to 20 people maximum. Usually like 10 to 15.
Okay.
So pretty small, but.
And then have you been traveling at all or no?
No.
Most of weeklies. Okay.
No, the last time that I traveled anywhere for a Melee tournament before this was at some random Indiana thing in like April or May of last year.
Okay, so Hotman, is there anything that's been like taking the majority of that time, or just a bunch of random stuff, and you don't have like want to spend that much time, going to everything?
There's not one thing that substituted for it. Basically, I wanted to stop taking Melee seriously because I wanted to get a job, because I knew that if I had Melee as a fallback, then it would be hard for me to commit to anything else. So I tried to just take time off, and then after that, I realized that I wasn't super interested in it a lot of the time.
In pursuing like that, yeah. Okay. And you said biggest reason for coming out to this was pretty much just to see Holiday, right?
I literally wanted to see Brian Neese, and then he didn't show up. And I'm very mad about it, but at least I got to play against Dreffen, because playing against Dreffen is the best experience in Melee.
Okay, yeah, I heard you say that he was like your favorite person to play against just now. Then an adorable off-screen hug.
Yes, I hugged Drew Skulls.
Why is this? Why is he your favorite?
So it feels like, honestly, a lot of the time when I play Melee, it's a battle of me against the game to make sure that I'm doing like all of the proper things, and it feels like interacting with my opponent is not a thing that happens super often. Like just clear interactions, like I did this because I was reading you were going to do this, and you did that because I was reading you were going to do that. Everyone plays very habitually, and everything's always very planned out. But when I play against Dreffen, the mix-up scenarios are very obvious where they're occurring. And it feels like there's a lot of good, wholesome, like, fighting gamesy interaction where it's like, I'm doing this because I think he's going to do this, and then if I'm right, then I get a huge punish, and if not, then he might just kill me. Like, it's what fighting games are all about. We're on the same level. We're processing things in the same way, and there's like an understanding there. There's an unwritten bond between me and Dreffen that we understand each other, and we will have a conversation when we play this game. Which is really what fighting games are all about to me. It's another way to communicate with other people. It's a way that you can form a relationship in a way that is unmatched in like anything else that I've experienced.
Yeah, and I've actually talked to Danny Babalu. We're housemates. I've talked to him a lot about that too. I feel like he really likes kind of the communication side of like all gaming. So he's more into like like World of Warcraft and like I don't know, games that like you kind of have to have a community. Where I'm very 1v1, but like there's still so much
back and forth.
Yeah, like discussion like inside of that.
By discussion, do you mean verbal discussion or when you're playing?
No. Actual, yeah, just playing.
Yeah.
And like you can even like a lot of times tell kind of personality traits like just based on how they play.
Yeah.
For example, Zetz is a very like rush down, like in your face. If you talk to Zetz, like he's gonna be. He's not shy, and he's not gonna let.
He's trying to run things.
Yeah,
he's running.
He will let you react to him.
Yeah.
He's not trying to be the reactionary. He's gonna be retroactive, proactive, or not retroactive, proactive.
And he's easily provoked.
Yeah. There's just so much, like personality and stuff in gameplay. Okay, so that's super sick. So just thinking about other stuff. What about like, just talk a little bit about your like mentality of like, because especially coming in here from the standpoint of like you're here to see so like not really super try or competitive mode.
Yeah.
Did that change at all through the tournament? Did you have any like, okay, now I kind of really want to win it, or like any kind of change in mental state throughout the tournament once you started getting farther in bracket?
My base level competitive urge is much higher than most people, so since this is like an outlet for that, I was pretty competitive through the whole thing. Like I try to win my pools matches pretty much as well as I can. I'm more interested at this point in my career about playing well than I am about winning. Winning is a cool side effect of playing well, but if I feel like my opponent is also playing well, as Dreffen was, then I'm not disappointed to lose.
Okay, and it kind of goes back to that same thing of like just it's not like an execution test anymore. Where like kind of pools is more of that execution test. Like if you're playing well, you'll win, and that's kind of what you're focused on, just playing well.
Yeah, but with Dreffen, if I'm playing well, it is not guaranteed that I win.
Then you just get to play.
Yeah,
and then you get to play the actual.
I get to communicate with Dreffen on a personal level.
Yeah, it's just taking that whole like sentiment of like you don't really get to play the game until like you've played the game for like 5 years. And this is like an even another level on top of that where like.
We've played each other a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people think they're playing the game and then.
Yeah, they're doing something else.
Yeah.
But at the start of the tournament, from my first pools match, I had a lot of nerves and my hands were like really shaky and I was nervous. And then whenever I thought about playing Dreffen, I felt that familiar like pit in my stomach, where it's just like. There are a lot of tournament nerves that don't go away no matter how long you play the game, and especially since I've been away from it for a long time, there were a lot of nerves. I mean, if you watch me in the player cam in my videos, I am visibly reacting to everything that's ever occurring. So I'm very like into it, I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling the pain of my mistakes, and I'm feeling the satisfaction of my successes. So it got better as the tournament progressed. Like it sort of peaked, and then it like leveled off, and then it started dropping and dropping again.
Like
as
your nerves, you mean? Or like
my confidence. So my nerves were going up.
Oh, okay.
As the tournament progresses, and then I win winners finals in a commanding fashion.
Oh,
and
okay.
I understand.
Dude, the force stock was gross that last game.
And I understand that the battle is not even close to over, and my nerves peak, and then it's like. It's going to be difficult to come back from that. I managed to stabilize a couple times, but it was like, difficult to come back from. Dreffen is a very worthy opponent, and I know that no matter how many times I beat him, it's not going to be any easier the next time.
Yeah.
I went up to someone and I was like, this is not over. He's coming back with a vengeance.
He's pissed now.
I've lost from this position many, many times before. I know what's about to happen here. And I knew it was going to be hard, and I lost. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I fought pretty well. There were a couple things that I messed up, but
and it was you both playing well rather than
both
both
of us were playing pretty well.
Okay, sick. I guess probably like around the last thing. Do you think you'll be going to more things coming up, or is this? Maybe if Holiday is signed up for the next one.
Holiday signs up for
All
them.
right, so if I get Holiday to sign up,
yes,
I'll put him in the title, and that'll put you in the title.
I will come to the next one if Brian Neese signs up.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Brian Neese, please. Even if you pre-reg and don't show up.
That's true. I'll still show up. If you want me to come, just sign up.
Just sign up.
If you are one of my close good friends, just sign up. I'll be here. I gotta see you. You know who you are. It's like not even very many people, but. Before we end, I would like shoutouts to Evangelion. Shoutouts to Gaki, whose tag I wore.
What exactly is Evangelion?
It's a TV show that has a great deal of personal meaning to me. It's like a deconstruction of human behavior towards the end, and I find that I relate to a lot of the problems that the characters go through, and it's really well done.
Sick.
Yeah. So there's that. I think there was someone else. Shout out to any Magic players who may be watching me.
I honestly was actually thinking about asking you, because I know you were pretty into Magic, and I've seen you, pull out the cards and stuff at other tournaments.
Yeah.
Do you do that competitively? Do you go to tournaments at all?
I would not describe myself as competitive. Other people would describe me as competitive because I attend weekly tournaments, because that is the only way that I can play to a level that I enjoy, but I will not travel for it because I don't feel that there's consistency there as a competitive game that I want to try to pursue. Interesting.
Okay, so like the base level though is kind of like your melee. Up until this point, your like melee intake of like you do it on a weekly basis because like you just like in competing and you're just like doing it.
I enjoy the game
a
lot. For Magic, it's more like the way that people play it casually is just so poorly executed, and me as like as
an
a
intellectual.
Lover, yeah, as a lover of the rules and the structure of the game in which I find beauty, people playing it at a casual level can't, so I'm forced to attend tournaments if I want to play with people who play well.
The actual game. Yeah,
who play the game the way that I think that it should be played, which is the way that it was made.
Yeah. Real quick, Corncob King, Dreffen got first and Cal got second.
Who got third? Zealot got third.
Zealot got third, yeah. Yeah, dude, this bracket for this was just crazy. The amount of like good people that showed up.
There was a lot of skill, but it was kind of top heavy.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm definitely on that Magic train of like the bad side where like I don't know really what I'm doing. I just make my own decks and like play it. And I've had good people talk to me about it, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds really cool. Like if I can invest more time into it. And money,
it would be cool.
That's very cool. Yeah. When you're actually expecting them to like call out certain moves and like you can recognize decks a lot faster.
Yeah, once you get to the point where you're bluffing and you're understanding what other people are playing, so that you can learn a matchup rather than just having to guess about things. But you know, everyone likes different things about it, so that can be what other people enjoy. It's just I don't like reading my opponent's cards.
Yeah, yeah, it's way better when you know what's going on. I think that happens with every game that you can play pretty much. There's so many levels. I know in StarCraft there's one thing where someone started an upgrade on a building and then canceled it, and the commentators were like, "That's so sick," because like if the other person's really good, they're like A, scouting, B, looking at it, C,
so
like,
they react to the fact that he's building
they're
it,
assuming that you're doing something from it. And like a bad player is not going to do any of that. A bad player
exactly.
You just wasted whatever time you took to do that, and that's not a game that they're playing.
Yeah, they can't recognize it.
Yeah, they don't know what's
Let's see. Who's this guy?
Corncrab King?
No, the other guy.
Oh.
This large pigeon gentleman.
Oh, BFP.
Competing edition. Yeah. So I just apply my competitive mindset to literally everything that I care about. Everything that I care about, I do it in the same way, which is why I've been able to take a break from Melee, and I'm still roughly the same. Yeah, I'm still roughly the same skill level that I was before. Because what matters is that I'm still practicing thinking in all the same ways, and I'm practicing the same things. Like, I'm still used to... Well, I'm not even that used to tournament pressure, but I used to be used to tournament pressure, so it's like a thing that I can... It's habits that I can fall back into. But it's the same thing where I'm, like, thinking... I can see what's happening, I can see the flaws, and then I understand them, and I study them, and I fix them by trying different things, because I understand that failure is a gift to you because it means that you can improve. And the way that you improve at things is it's mostly through detaching your ego, because if your ego is there, all it's going to do is throw roadblocks in your way that prevent you from improving. You end up playing games that other people aren't playing by applying arbitrary limitations to yourself, like I have to win in cool way, or I have to win in a way that my friends will think is like interesting or something like that, when really if you want to get good at a game, you have to get good at the game itself, and providing... These games are already difficult enough, so providing any extra limitations on yourself is just going to make it way harder. People do this with all aspects of their life. There are a lot of people... I'm not talking about the people who are legitimately downtrodden, but there are a lot of people in relatively good situations who are not having a good time because they haven't matched up their behaviors to the results that they want. You know, they're in a dead-end job that they're not interested in. They don't enjoy their love life. They're not playing games that they want to play. They're not having a good time. And they're just like, these are all solvable problems. There are things that you enjoy, but people just don't understand the structure that you need to get yourself where you want to be. And I feel like through great amounts of studying and also natural intuition, I've gotten to the point where I can sort of like affect the change that I want to see in the world. So I see fighting games as a method of doing that, where it's like, here's an easily influenceable thing with a framework and structure that people have agreed upon that fights, like, it challenges things that I'm interested in challenging, you know, like execution and quick thinking and practice and all of these things that I think are interesting. So, you know, I do it as a way of communicating with other people and as a way of bettering myself and as a way of affecting change in the world, because it's a lot easier to control a character on a screen than it is to control like the stock market or your life, like just like life in general, honestly. Yeah. You can have remarkable amounts of control, which is why I don't understand why like people can be bad at it for so long. Like I don't get it. I don't know how you can see this wide range, see life, and be in a dead-end job for like 50 years. Or you can like play this game and remain at the same skill level even though you've been playing for like 10 plus years. Like, it's just... I don't know. I don't get it. Honestly, I don't think people are stupid. I just think they need like a different perspective.
Yeah, I feel like the observation, like... I don't know. It all like stems kind of from the same thing. I'm just like... Not like wanting knowledge, but almost, you know, like you have to like be looking for something. You can't just be content and be like, you know, this is how the game is and like I'm cool with it. I'm going to play like this the whole time.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's perfectly enjoyable. The game should be what you want it to be. So I suppose that makes sense. I always forget that other people want other things than I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it's hard for me to get perspective too. Let's see what people are saying. It's too much to be the best.
Yeah, with the failure stuff and the beginning of your sentiment.
Right, buddy. Leave.
Remind me a lot of the inner game of tennis with the disconnecting your ego. Have you read that book?
I've read part of it.
Figured you would. Okay.
I read enough that I thought I got something useful from it.
Yeah, some of the chapters are literally like, this is what a forehand is, because it's like about tennis.
Yeah, it's literally about tennis.
Yeah, but self 1 and self 2 is that, you know, separating the ego from your body, which is actually doing the things, and the thing in the back of your head saying, oh, you need to do this right, or oh, you're doing this wrong. You know, like, it's all about separating that and letting your second self learn how to do the thing by just doing it and failing and not having these attachments of, like, you know, putting a lot of emotion behind it.
That definitely plays into a part of it, I think. It's really hard not to let your emotions take control of your actions, but it's really, like, necessary.
Good to not do. Yeah.
It's really necessary to excel in things.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who has excelled in, at minimum, one thing, I will say.
All right, so it is getting a little bit late. Is he gonna say anything? Okay, maybe just say hey. So we are gonna wrap it up. You did most of your shout outs already. You want to shout anything again?
No, we're good.
All right, sick. Well, thank you so much for coming out. I'm so happy you guys came out. So happy this is as successful as it was.
Good to talk. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're out.